Oh, hello. Welcome back. I realized I was muted for a while. How are you doing? Welcome back to more Great Ace Attorney here on the D-Hall channel. On this late night live stream, we're continuing the adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Now, I'm fairly certain that Kokoro is a bird and not... We're not using the Japanese word for heart here. And guess what? Turns out there's been a stabbing. And McGilded is dead. Now, just go over the history here. Yes, a woman was stabbed from behind. Rogues do it from behind. What do you just say about Van Zieks? Lord Barak Van Zieks, who we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGilded told us about him before the trial, didn't he? When Van Zieks stands for the prosecution, they called the accused as sacrificial lambs. I like his Dracula fit here. He took his cloak off so early. Every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. Damn. This Reaper of the Bailey nickname. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty, is that it? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zieks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty. And what of it? Oh, well, I think... That means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant. No, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? Put away his chips? What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. Ah, Magnus McGilded came a cropper in the omnibus when it went up in flames. He's saving his, pocket fish and chips for later. So you can't rightly say that you saved the defendant, can you? What are you saying? Look, if Van Zieks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. That's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you. Are we really supposed to believe that? There's no way Van Zieks is behind that murder, is he? Man. Fish and chips. Those look good. Right, well, I filled you in as requested, and I'm very nearly out of chips. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. Still carrying on a few investigations there. It's Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place. That's correct, madam. And if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. You've branded him a criminal already? He's as good as, shaking like a leaf in his cell, he is. He'll give you a chuckle if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Inmate 53, thank you. And speaking of fish, I had an amazing dinner this night. I had some sushi, omakase sushi, even. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in a court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in his cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I am your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes, let's go. She's too cute. We don't deserve her. She's too pure for this world. Let's move out to Briar Road. Or actually, no. Let's see the man himself first. Go to prison, not the detention center. Just straight up jail. Holy shit. The dungeons. So these are British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. Feels like a dungeon. That's what I'm saying. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. But is he? It's so dark at the back here, I can't make him out. Wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding in the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I... my cat? As yet with no name? What? Calling me by a number. It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruhodo, what? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but I was just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Wait, what? Eh? You don't look Japanese. Dude, his eyebrows are so sketchy. Shh, quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. This guy is not okay. They're watching, listening. Even now, I can sense it. What is going on with his eyes? Right. So, could I ask you... There you are. You're going to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? The way Susato stares is so funny. We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you... Japanese by any chance? Oh, there you go. His eyes are back. This is beyond my wildest dreams. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. I'm just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land. Oh yeah, of course he's Japanese. Look at those big kawaii eyes. Oh yeah. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment. What? Who could have guessed that this new client, Lord Strongheart, assigned to us, would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? You mean Nipponese? Ah. What my compassion, my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nippon! I think you would be a great Sentai actor in a future life. A first-class lawyer? Wait, no, that's me. I saw Susato and thought it was her talking. Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example? Oh, sorry, one sec. Alright, sorry. To deal with something for a sec. Yes, I can, I will. Shout, say, sullen, and silent. Bro. Who are you throwing it back for? I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotaba. I am a visiting student, sent here by our government. Student, you say? Notoriously, named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Natsume? What? What does that mean? People, how old are you, sir? 33, a scholar. Sent to Britain by the Japanese government to further his study of English. Soseki Natsume. I think the pun is in Japanese, right? Dude, Gregson is all neck. Crazy build. Yo, it's Sandy. What's up? Hello. Alright. Soseki Natsume. San? What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias? Oh. So what's your actual name? That's right, Naruhodo-san. No, don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. And haiku? It really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student, sent over here by the government? Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go and study English. But as I just suffered that misery, and now this. It's beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? And I'm sure learning English would be misery if it wasn't your first language. No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it. No. He's giving theater kid. He's not just giving it. He is one. What do you mean? They told me to study English literature. That I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. Okay. I think this guy needs to switch his field of study to, like, I don't know, interpretive dance. I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. Tended a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi. Washi? Dude, he's dabbing. This is the first dab. Holy shit, and he's doing the Gotham hand. This guy's way ahead of his time. You must be a man of great standing. Oh, yes. So I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems. Alright. Well, it seems you're accused of a stabbing. Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Murder? Oh, no. No, it's all right. The woman didn't actually die, did she? She was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? Bro, you're in the cell alone. No one's gonna come in from behind you. I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen the person who did it, you think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. So, Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we found out more about the case. About the case. Was it a cursed evening just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog? I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Sure the bookshop wasn't accursed too? As I was walking along that cursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, just as I went to overtake her. I did not expect her to be this circular. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Oh my god, dude, roll out. This guy's not okay. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Guys, I think this guy just learned about alliterations. He just learned about alliterations in his English studies, and he has to use them every minute. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. He looks like he's fucking on something. Like, damn. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. No, they'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English? And a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Bro said he's scared of women. Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time? That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? What conundrum? Conundrum? What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? Is it the word of the day? Well, if what Saseki-san just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen. I did. But if that's the case, how did they get you? Surely this man has to be the culprit. What did you say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oh, there you go. He's tripping again. Oops, perhaps I thought that a little loudly. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Okay, yeah. See, Sato's thinking what I'm thinking. Sorry? He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So, how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yeah, she's right. It was him. That accursed great detective. He led the police to me. Oh shit, he's back. With all the bad luck. Cursed great detective? Could it be... I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his hearty laugh and his self-acclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed, busybody, begone. May you be accursed into the end of your days, Herlock Sholmes. Oh my god, that bastard. I knew it. Why did he do the I knew it pose as soon as I said I knew it? Mr. Sholmes? Herlock Sholmes. 3 words this time. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. He's back, guys. We know he wouldn't be gone for long. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me. This is the police, put the weapon down. Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but it wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils. Is he gonna keep doing this until he gets the whole alphabet? You clearly had a trying moment yesterday. There he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That's Herlock Sholmes. It's actually just Herlock Sholmes. He's English. Since I found that he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really well known. His overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. Thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak, stooped kitten of a man. Call himself a kitten? I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. We're gonna have to fix a lot of his fucking deductions this time, huh? Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish foreign film Flannery. Well, we are in England. Can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. Next thing I knew, I was in Manicos before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear. Oh my god, his fucking eye is twitching. How much coffee did you drink, sir? Oh dear, I'm afraid that's oddly surprising. I'm fine? He's not fine now. Bro thinks he's Apollo Justice. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, just a simple mister is more than enough. Oh, yes, all right. Yes, they've really got to me. This country's poisoning my mind. Please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour. A student? I've defended a case in the Old Bailey. Only the one, though. But at this moment of time, I don't really know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. Not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose. But that armband, that's the mark of defense lawyer from a great empire. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, who do you mean? The lawyers, or the British defense lawyers. They won't defend me. Racism strikes again. Goodness, well, why would you say that? For the same reason as you noted before when it happened. There was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. Not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. Anyway, I'm a student from overseas. Just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I had them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. That's awful. They're wrong. I study more English than half the policemen out there on the streets. I traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Soseki-san, it's just that... give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can, for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be here, alone, waiting for you, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. I don't think there has ever been a more... how do I say this? Energetic defendant? Manic, even? Let's leave before he does something crazy. Oh, look at this. It's quite nice looking. Look at that snowman. He's so happy. Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. She's such a nerd. Often depicted in the adventure of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. to a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Of course. I'll have to try one on one day. Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. Oh, look who's back. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells then? What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. The verdict's a foregone conclusion. Ugh, the stone-cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Alright, well, that's what you gotta say. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventure of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. Yeah, just steal one. Does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. Certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense at his duty protecting the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Oh really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. What, he wakes people up? Yep. Raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit. I had no idea. Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. Dude, that is a magical fish and chip. Keeps on biting on it, but it just instantly grows back. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. Can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Wait, they use miles? Did they use miles back then? What the fuck is a kilometer? 20 miles? That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. Oh, what? That's definitely taking things a step too far. Yeah, that newspaper is a black hole. When it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Man. Imagine being a Bobby. And you're forced to be the town's alarm clock. Oh my. I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well. And chase after criminals trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside, but yes. Expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men kneeling over from time to time, I admit. Oh, Keelan? Not Neelan. Keelan, yes. I've always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. What? Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Well, she gave up on that really quick. When she said I wanted to wear a hat, I didn't think she meant that figuratively, like she wanted to actually become a Bobby. I thought she just wanted to put the hat on for like a minute, you know? Oh, it happened around 5 in the evening, 2 days ago. Just here. Oh, just there, on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with the blade from behind. Is it right the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital. I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around plenty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. Wait, she's not dead? Wait, I thought she was dead. Oh, attempted murder. Wait. Attempted murder? Is this the first time we're actually doing an attempted murder case? And not an actual murder case? Holy shit. Wait, this game's peak. Wait, that's so... My mind is blown. My world is getting shattered. How did I not realize that until now? I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's your policy to give lawyers, defendant, suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. A local map. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? Not so much of a head-scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can't be sure. How? 'Cause, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. What? We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. There were witnesses now. Interesting. Man, attempted murder. So we get to hear from the victim herself. Yeah, this really is a first. It's always been murder, and then there's been the odd case of a civil case, right? In Spirit of Justice. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? Phil and his wife. The man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Ah. Copper? Oh. A cop. I guess that's where cop comes from. A policeman? That might change things. This policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked. Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby, catching them banging the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. No doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. Well, that's that then. Got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. It's a shame. Policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh, yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that it was Mr. Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? Color is straight from his cheeks. Dude, is it just me or is he built like a bowling pin? Oh, let's do Mr. Sholmes. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was a result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle. The man's an amateur. I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Look, at least someone recognizes him for who he is. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish. Before you know it, claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble gabble. Ever seen this before? Oh yes, that's Rance Magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees to fit include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there is an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. That man's as dangerous to us as Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. You're gonna get your chips all mashed up, sir. The twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you gonna defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I'll just say this. No London lawyer with his soul would touch that case with a barge pole. So the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. Yes, we did hear something to that effect. The only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals? The violent ones? That's right. He handpicks his victims. Only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper the Bailey to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? There's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really gonna have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it. That is a hell of a nickname. You know, the Lord of Darkness. I don't think we're gonna get any more useful information out of the detective. You'll never be Gumshoe. Mr. Naruto, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, exactly. I guess. Guess we have to deal with that guy. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? I'm surprised you're still a fangirl after all this. After you've seen him do his, work. Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. Yeah, sure, buddy. No one will make you. No one will make her hate Sherlock Sholmes, I guess. The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address even. It's Baker Street. Oh, she knows. Oh my god. How do you know that? In the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. Well, we better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. They just dox themselves? I mean, it's in the actual books. Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage. I mean, that being said, Sato is one step away from being a full-on stalker. Oh, we're here to have a reunion already. The great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, she says, nodding approvingly. Or, yeah. I guess Sherlock has that goofy riz? I don't know. Is there anything to examine here? Surely there's a lot of stuff to examine here. What are these, like bullet holes? It's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Bike? Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. Seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Don't disrespect a bicycle, Ryunosuke. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know you'd agree with me. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. I'd like to imagine that. Picture that in your head. Susato being the one to actually ride the bike with Ryunosuke in the back. In those little, like, baby carriages you can attach to the back of your bicycle. I don't think they had those yet in this time, but still. What do we got here? Bushes? Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Windows? I was clearly looking at the bushes. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. dear, everything still feels very foreign. So much we have to learn about this place. There's the smoke. Clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? The dense fog as well. Everything looks hazy. Well, it is known as Foggy London Town. You can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. Looks like it's still being built, though. Aha! Yes! That must be the Crystal Tower being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Really? That's fucking huge. Apparently it's going to be very striking. Glazed on all sides and a symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. This to be the largest exposition in history, is it? Can't even begin to imagine it. Did you guys catch that? When she kind of like hit her fist on her palm like a minute ago. It made a little thud sound, a very quiet thud sound. The sound design in this game is it's really upgraded. I guess that's the Crystal Tower over here. Piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruhodo. Dressed all in black. A worried coachman might not see you and you could be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. How small is he? How small are we talking? It's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I find myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. Ugh. What is this? This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Apparently Naruhodo is 5'6". That's not... that is below average, but it's not like short, you know? Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it? It's true, I can see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi, what are you foreigners doing here? Ah! Oh, we are, though. We're just conspiring with that mustached fella from Japan, are ya? Conspiring? A Japanese person, you say it's a good height? That's true. He's pretty short in the context of everyone else here, I suppose. Got me here to destroy evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you an hiding. Get out! You shoot us away like rats. Oh, yeah, so we should give him a wide berth, I think. What a disappointing experience. Racism, boo. Hello, snowman. Hee what a delightful snowman. I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. Looks a little creepy, though. Oh, it has a scarf, look. You'd need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, that, too. Can't really afford a scarf. Should have taken the money from the rich guy. Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his. The person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know, you're right. Anyway. Even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Oh, it's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush the crime scenes and caught away criminals. You're well informed, aren't you? So I'm gonna dream of lying to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. Damn. She's willing to commit crimes for her obsessions. No, I wasn't serious. I respect the dedication. Alright, I think that's it. Yeah, that seems to be it. Not much of the actual scene of the crime, it seems. (221B) Baker Street. Alrighty. Oh, anime.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Good day.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Sholmes is sweet. This is crazy in here. This reminds me of the fucking Write Anything agency. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It's surreal to be here somehow. Just a violin hanging out. Is that as described in the stories, Mrs. Sato? The house is pretty from the outside. OST for Herlock Sholmes' house is your favorite? Ooh. It's very whimsical. I think she's about to cry tears of joy. Chisato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they have been. Yes. Never read the stories, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. She's living the dream. She really is. I wish I could be as passionate about something as she is for this. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me. She's having her ultimate fangirl fantasy fulfilled. Her life is complete. She's obsessed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Wait, we can just go inside? It's unlocked? Excuse me, is anybody home? You say that before you go inside, Ryunosuke. Oh, do we have a visitor? Someone's here? Oh, it's you. Hello. Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello. Wait. Aren't you... Oh, how rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. She's the most precious girl? More precious than Susato. That's saying something. I don't know if... We'll see about that, you know? It's a bold claim. Susato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. She did not see anything. The King of Bowaria? King Wilhelm Gottsriek Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment. Look over there. Look at that child. Oh, this music's back. You thought the last song was whimsical. Freshly baked cake? Ah, it's you! I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. I don't think I need a flashback for this. The inventor. I still don't know her name. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilded's trial in the defendant's antechamber. Wait. Don't tell me she's Watson. Dr. Watson? Is a child? Never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived here in London. Oh, yes, it was, challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. She is so small. Thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color? What color? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's a winner. I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see? You must be exhausted after your long voyage here. And you must have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Ticklish? Oh, and you have to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley? Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, surely. Wait, if it's Hurley here, is it Shirley in the actual books? Surely not. Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? Perhaps more to the point. Why is she here, Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me, I haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great... Iris. Iris Wilson? You are Watson. Holy shit. Oh, it's back. I live here together with Hurley. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Oh, Susato's gonna have another fangirl moment. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie? And Runo. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. How old are you? It seems like you... You're like the caretaker to Sholmes. Between the two of you. 10? 10? Degree in medicine? Excuse me? Who let this child into medical school? Author of a popular series of short stories. So not only is she a medical doctor and an engineer, she is also a world-renowned author. At 10? What am I doing with my life? Inventor? Yeah. Hence why I said engineer. Man. This girl is not real. I refuse to believe she's 10. Is she secretly, like, an older person who de-aged herself? I don't know, man. She does not talk like she's 10. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. I don't know what to think about you. Iris. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey. Well, now that I know she's 10, I can do this. Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. I'm not going to do that ever again. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. That was amazing. Maybe I should do it more. Like this? Gulp. Ah, thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Ginny? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that child disrupting a gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. Oh my god. This girl's dangerous. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock. Herlock Sholmes. We live here together. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Oh, not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. And they were roommates Your roommates? I hope you don't mind asking me this, Iris, but how old are you?
10 at last this year.
Sholmes? Sholmes? I'm gonna have to make you have a seat here. We're gonna need to talk. Just gotta make sure you're not doing anything out of line. You know? Well, what of your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around. They're all dead. I killed them. With my bombs.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Wilson. Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. So, Susato's favorite stories are written by a 10-year-old.
Of course. Go ahead, Susie.
I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes and...
You have a copy of Rance magazine.
Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship.
Oh, that's so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right. Hurley's always solving such amazing cases, you see? And he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think?
Goodness. She does do the same, like, animations as Hurley, like a little finger flick.
Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came.
So you're the author?
Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call the latest adventure The Speckled Band.
Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in stories here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but... it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you?
So, do you mean to say... all the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in the Rance magazine, they're fake? And all written by you?
All written by me? Yes, my wonderful and very modern typewriter.
But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Mr. Dr. John H. Wilson. Susato-san's getting more and more worked up. She'll learn the truth. Yes. Well, I guess... at least she's still a doctor. For some reason. I don't know what kind of medical school would let you in, to be honest.
I mean, my name is really Wilson.
But what about the doctor of medicine part? Oh, really is Wilson, not Israeli Wilson.
That's all true. I'm a doctor of medicine.
No, at 10 years old? That's what I'm saying.
10 years old.
Look, I know his attorney has some, like, fantastical stuff sometimes, right? Like mystical powers and all that shit. Like, hearing that makes you a hyper empath. Vision so good you can see people's tics. Magic bracelets. Spirits. Spirit channeling. But this is a step too far. I refuse to accept the 10-year-old doctor. It's real. Well, that's quite incredible. First we have 18-year-old lawyers, and now we have 10-year-old doctors. Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman.
Ah, yes. We did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling.
Damn, on the grind in the womb. That's some real dedication right there. She's just built different, I suppose.
Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? Great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow.
Yes, it does sound strange. Hence why I need to have a little chat with Mr. Sholmes. You know, a little one-on-one, perhaps. Say, Sholmes, I hear you like 'em young. Poor Sasato-san, she looks like her whole world is just falling apart. About before.
Yes, what's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me.
How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Herlock Sholmes is misunderstood? Alright, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now, but look, I've got my eyes on him, alright? He's gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that?
Oh, that's what you mean.
Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail.
Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin.
Oh, are you gonna have your deduction moment?
Iris Wilson is proud to present. Her logic and reasoning is spectacular.
She says, pulling out a fucking gun. Oh shit, where am I? I'm in cyberspace?
First of all, I already knew that you were a lawyer, you know? After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that?
I observed a passport and a travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh.
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country.
Is this her domain expansion? Basically. Domain expansion, cyber sleuth.
And on top of that, you accepted a case against a particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited a local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today.
Ah.
I use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see?
I didn't realize.
And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already caused to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see. But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow?
barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume.
Now, Runa has a fancy Japanese sword. I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it's clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves, so I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. There was only one conclusion those facts can lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case.
Wow, good job. You get a gold star, Iris. You want some candy? A little lollipop, perhaps? A little lolly? A pat on the head? She should be Sherlock Holmes, or Herlock Sholmes. I agree. Her current win rate is higher than his right now.
There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know? He is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Well, was it a winner? My deduction's correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing.
Wrong girl. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed to discern something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery.
Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that.
This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please? Look, I'll talk to her. If it means I'll get to avoid talking to Sholmes for a little bit longer, you know? I love the guy, but you can only bear so much of him. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying.
Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after a sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
The great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently a woman was stabbed in the quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene.
A short, shifty-looking, stooped man. Mr. Natsume, without beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said that he didn't see anybody else in the street at all, but it seems that there were witnesses after all.
Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? Short, shifty-looking, stooped man, shivering in fear.
Ugh. Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely, but we have no time to investigate properly.
Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently.
Oh dear, I didn't realize the situation is so dire.
That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating the cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Cops are usually pinned on the first suspicious person.
That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. World's greatest, my ass. I suppose it is. In that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
That was a very very Pearl-esque pose she did there with her hands on her face. Pearl does the same pose when she's like fantasizing about shipping Phoenix Wright and Maya together. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Bro, what? Look, not that they're a thing. They're absolutely not, but Pearl Faye has, you know, has thoughts sometimes. Granted, I think when she did that last, she was like about Iris's age. Maybe like 12 or something. I don't know.
I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
What do you mean still investigating? We were there. The case involved Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Nuts. Nuts? Oh, me? Hurley said he was going to his man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there.
Iris, do you know where those lodgings are?
Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were still there?
Yes, we know Inspector Gregson.
Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this from me, would you?
What is that? A coin?
If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." That's oddly threatening. It's a very threatening message to write on this cutesy pink postcard with the 5 shillings there as a little bribe too. God damn. How much power does this child have? Is she secretly evil? I mean, she builds guns and shit, you know? She's a doctor at 10. This is definitely some supervillain backstory we're experiencing right now. She's secretly the Reaper of the Bailey. Yeah, we're gonna be in court. Von Zieks is gonna we'll be backing Von Zieks into a corner. And then he's like, "Ha, you think you've had me?" He rips off his fucking face because it's a mask the whole time. And out pops Iris. Their big ass head. Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck then. I'm going to pretend to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Man. I'll be making more special blends of tea. so come back again soon. We'll be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? It's back to the scene of the crime.
Oh. Hello, Saskari. I don't have a Discord. Yet. I've been thinking of making one, but I don't know what I'd really do with it. Guess I'll just chat to you guys. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. The to be continued moment? Yep. Should I make a Discord? Perchance. Perchance. I need to have moderators for it, though. Like, I don't know if I can do all that myself. Well, if it's probably going to start out small, right? We'll see. Looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation. Perfect, so let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible. Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. Alright, sir. Let's present. Actually, I want to look at the map. We have Briar Road, Meerschaum Street. Sometimes there's bot raids for Discord, which sucks. Yeah. I wouldn't really know how to deal with that. Calabash Road. I see. To the gentleman in black. Tell the gentleman in black whatever that he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Iris Wilson, heart. Dude, her handwriting is impeccable for a 10-year-old. This is a 5-shilling piece, isn't it? If it's called a crown. Yes, and you can train a Scotland Yard detective to do whatever you want with just a single one. Iris must be the most powerful 10-year-old in the world. I can't argue with that. How much is 5 shillings, by the way? What's it really worth? Well, it's probably enough to buy all the chips the inspector would possibly eat in a whole month. That's greasy. Dude, inflation must be crazy. 1%, right? Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? Sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. He's very busy eating his chips and standing there. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson. What? For me? From her ladyship? Ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What was that coin exactly? Silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee. That's what it is. An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean... That's right, for the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, speaking of bots, get the hell out of here. Let's see. Oh, they changed the ban UI. Anyway. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me, every time. Yes, yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. Look. Money is money, alright? Get your bag. I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? That was easy. If you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ah. Little knife-wielding, mustached Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel, just over there. Look. Oh, it's that place. The first floor of that house on the corner with that wreck of a bicycle propped up. That is nearby indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord is Mr. John Garadeb. Garadeb? John Garadeb? He carries debt? I don't know. Right, well, if you see her again, make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? You mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Gregson? Do I need to have a chat with you too? Or maybe you're like her uncle or something. I don't know. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then. Long live her ladyship. Long live her ladyship? Is she royalty? What the fuck? You just saluted her. Well, at least at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left. Yes, so then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings? Royalty to the Scotland Yard, I guess. But why would Scotland Yard treat her like royalty if she makes fun of them all the time in her writing? Well, it's probably just because she pays them, right? Money talks. A new location. This looks surprisingly nice on the inside, considering the state of the building from the outside. Is that an apron on a cannon? Why the fuck do you have that in here? People have been coming to Scotland Yard for their issues and whatnot, if you're not wrong. Well, I guess so. Give them some promotion. All advertisement is good advertisement, they say. Or all press is good press, I think, is the saying. Hello?
May I help you?
Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garadeb? Oh, the landlord. No wonder it looks nicer than I thought it would.
Indeed it would, sir. And who, may I say, is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Sosuke Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here.
Would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. What is that face? I don't like it.
One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. McGarradeb.
That was a jump scare? It really was. Did you see that, Mrs. Otto? It was a real-life English maid.
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
You need only to meet a butler, and the experience will be complete.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Oh, my nose. You blow it for a sec. All right.
Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garadeb will see you now. This way.
Excuse me, hello. Who is this fucking... what's his name? Mac Tonight looking ass guy. Yo, Mac Tonight? That one, like, McDonald's mascot with the moon head? That's who you are. Good day to you. John Garadeb at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwan, don't you know? I earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service, handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. He's have a job getting up and down stairs now, I tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo.
Do you think so?
Well, Mr. Garadeb, no doubt you are very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Oh my god. Oh, dash it all, woman. Be careful.
Oh, dear me, I do beg your pardon, sir.
I don't know why I changed her voice like that. You jolly took the skin off my hands.
I shall be more careful, sir.
Do I sense some built-up resentment? Perhaps? So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs. Is that right?
Yes, we'd be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. Ugh. Stirring your tea with that out of your pipe? Ugh. Brother, ugh. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. This case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Dude, am I ever gonna see the right half of this guy's face? Or is he perpetually gonna be in this pose? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's hiding something? I mean, he won't even face me. He's definitely hiding something. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea. All that detective business. Oh, but you have a copy of Rance magazine here, so... Oh, no. Oh, he's trying to act cool, huh? You a secret fan? It's okay, you and Sasato can fangirl out together. Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Soseki-san's room. It's a bally nuisance, it is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. Don't like all this fuss, it's jolly unsettling. Well, Mr. Natsume then, Mr. Garrett, please do tell us. Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. They've been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then. 2 lodgers most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. First floor room became available a week ago, you see. They've been... Why the fuck does she keep doing that? No, Joan, do be careful. Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. This maid is... She may be stupid. She may be stupid or it might be intentional. I don't know. Like, what's up with her delayed reaction? I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh? Why? Because racism. He seems to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. Oh, honestly, yeah, I can see that. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm really wrong about anything. You won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Oh yes, indeed there was. She's dying to tell us. And you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh my word, yes, the man was shadier than an orchard. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room, absolutely stuffed full of books it is, more than anyone could ever read. He never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back with a light fire. Comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. The funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too. Oh, I see. Oh. Gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. Ah. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! I understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct? That's right, yes. They're both below us on the first floor street level. These guys are very suspicious. The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example, even the times they go to bed. Someone been spying? Oh my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Something doesn't add up here. Incident 2 years ago. Oh, 2 days ago. I cannot read. Ugh. Seems the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time? The window. Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement, just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? "5 o'clock is the dinner time in the Garadeb household. So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan? No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. The fog as well. I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as? Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. Well... Yes, was there something in it? Well, it's nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time... Why are you doing that? Are you trying to stop him from talking? If I may, Mr. Nara Hollow. I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember... Nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really? Mr. Garadeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh my god. Again. What is the matter with you, woman? What was he about to say? Just a trifling matter. I feel like she's trying to silence him. Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Oh, now she's gaslighting him, too. Yes, quite. And he's going along with it? Yeah, I don't know why this maid isn't fired at this point. Ugh. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan? That's right, Mr. Garadeb. Who's actually in charge of who here? Who's the servant? Exactly. What is the matter with these two? Sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what? Wish I knew. Alright, we'll do one more chat. Can you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak. Yes, told me Nuts' name. Wait, no, it's Gyaradev. Yes, told me Miss Nuts' name. I had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services? It's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? Mr. Natsume's room, I mean. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. Alright, I think that'll be it for me tonight. It's quite late right now. I need to get some sleep. We'll save here with this very fancy music. This little waltz. All right. Thank you all for watching. Next time we're gonna go downstairs and have a chat with Herlock Sholmes. A little reunion, you know. It's been a while. Some might even say too long. Some might say not long enough. So look forward to it. Alright, well, once again, thank you all for watching. Whether it be live or on the VOD, which will be on the VOD channel, as usual. I hope you have a great rest of your night, everybody. You're very welcome, Sandy. I'm glad you like it. Oh, I will knock out. All right, yeah. Good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there, and be well.